fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. This is Barry Myers' world-famous TuffNuff. Holdsworth, Couture, Rousey, and many more have set foot here. Tonight, in the cage and on the stage that Barry built, you will see the future stars of MMA. Fight fans, are you ready for a war? The cage is now open for business. Let's get to work. Making their way to the blue corner, Moises Lopez.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Barry Myers' world-famous TuffNuff Amateur Fighting Championships. The future stars of MMA. We're in the Cox Pavilion just outside the UNLV campus, and we're ready to call some action for you guys tonight. Settle in, strap it on, grab a beer. It's going to be a great night. My name is George Garcia, and I'm joined by my co-host on HBT Radio, Brian Goes Garcia, and UFC veteran Ulysses Gomez. Guys, you ready?
Let's do this.
I like this. It's a grappling match. Yeah. They mix it up here at TuffNuff, and we're going to get a lot of different types of fights here. World title fights. We're also going to get regular eliminators and some grappling matches. Yeah, if you remember back in the day, Frank Mir and Babalu, they grappled here at TuffNuff. They sure did. So our first matchup is going to be Moises Lopez versus Jeremiah Vance. These are both purple belts. It should be a ton of fun. Ulysses, this is your game, the grappling game.
Yeah, these rules are a little interesting as the points-wise. The points-wise for this grappling match is they favor more so a near submission. So any near submission would be 3 points automatically. And then basically everything else after that is 1 point for a takedown, for a sweep, for taking the bag, for having the mount side control. You do have to hold it for 3 seconds. So it should be a pretty action-packed match with all these submissions, hopefully.
How about the fact that they're wrestling, or grappling, excuse me, in a cage?
Yeah, I wonder if they're allowed to use the cage or if they're going to have to keep it towards the center. I would assume they're allowed to use the cage. It just changes the game just a little bit, you know.
Is that something you would be down with?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, for sure.
How would you use the cage to your advantage?
The best person I've seen use the cage is Shane Roller. He would actually push the person against the cage, and then he would push them. And when they bounce back off the cage, he would hit with a double leg. So he was the best person I've seen actually work off the cage that I've trained with. So I'd probably use that strategy.
His first grappling match of the evening. Each match will be 7 minutes. If no takedown after 2 minutes, then athletes will be placed in top-bottom position for 2 consecutive 2.5-minute periods. Each grappler can win automatically with submission or at the end of the match by points. Point system is as follows. 3 points, near submission. 2 points, high amplitude takedown or takedown to dominant position. 1 point for all other advantageous positions or reversal from bottom to top, and minus 1 point for guard pulling. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our first bout of the evening. It's a grappling match in the TuffNuff 165-pound weight class. Introducing first, competing out of the blue corner. He's a purple belt, training out of Drysdale, Las Vegas, Nevada, Moises Lopez. His opponent stands across the cage in the red corner, a purple belt, training out of 10th Planet, Orange County, California. He is Jeremiah Vance. Referee in charge of the mat is Steve Pellegrino.
So Jeremiah, obviously with 10th Planet, he's looks like he's probably going to try pulling the rubber guard right off the get-go.
But I was reading in the rules that pulling guard is a minus point.
It is, but if you sweep, you get that point back. So,
okay.
Or if you submit the guy, points don't really matter.
Vance will be wearing red tape on his ankle. Lopez, blue tape on his ankle.
These guys lock up right away. It looks like there's guard pull right away. Looks like he might be trying to hit him butterfly guard, grab his ankles, hopefully come on top. He's doing a good job controlling that head and having that far side arm. So that should be minus 1 point. I don't know if the ref called it or not. Double leg.
Yeah, there's a little bit of use of the cage.
A little bit, yeah.
It's actually pretty similar to what you said about Shane Roller, right?
Yeah, and now that position is interesting because is that 2 points or is that a guard pull?
Moises Lopez on top. Jeremiah Vance
going for that leg lock. Looks like he's trying maybe going inside the heel hook. The key for Jeremiah is you can't let his legs get untackled in this position. But Moses or Lopez, he looks like he can maybe get him in maybe a calf slicer from this position.
Now in MMA, we know that a lot of times when they are going for leg locks, the difference is obviously there's a good chance because you're using both of your hands to apply a hold. There's a good chance you might get pummeled for it.
Right, Frank Mir and Ian Freeman.
Well, Lopez really likes them legs, doesn't he?
Yeah, one thing though, he goes for legs, but he does a good job of staying on top though. He doesn't let Jeremiah come on top and finish it from that position. That looks pretty tight right there. Jeremiah needs to keep on rolling and create more scrambles to get his leg free. Looks like he's trying to go for his own leg from this position, inside the hook if possible.
Ulysses, you've trained MMA and you've trained for grappling tournaments. How long does it take to kind of put a buffer in between the two where your muscle memory is working at full capacity?
It's the more you train, the faster that buffer gets there, you know. But it's also like if you're not used to playing MMA rules in the grappling match, you're gonna get hurt pretty quick. He has that inside heel hook right there. So that 10-second bell, they're gonna, as far as them switching top to bottom if there's no takedowns. He looks like he passes straight to side control right here. He has knee on belly from this position. He could drive straight to mount right here, which looks like he's about to get right now. Yep.
And so you have to sustain a position, and then you get 3 points.
Yeah,
right?
for 3 seconds. Yeah.
Right.
So it looks like he might be trying to attack the neck. It's kind of hard to get a choke from that position.
By the way, we will have a winner here because there is an overtime. There are tiebreakers.
Here in Las Vegas, we're looking at a Drysdale guy here. Do they all have their sort of personality each school?
Yeah, I mean, you figure, 10th pound, they're going to be real big in the rubber guard. Drysdale's, a very strong competitor, Drysdale, his athletes are a little bit more bigger, so, the bigger guys going to have his game. Simgo, Cobra Kai, they're smaller guys and have more of Simgo's games,
Now, does that mean Drysdale doesn't work with many smaller fighters?
No, I mean, I'm small guys, so I go with Sim because, it makes more sense for me. I think bigger guys tend to navigate towards Drysdale because, they're bigger guys and they can tailor the games toward him, That's not saying that he doesn't have small guys, just, that's where I would go if I was a bigger guy.
Who would you say is the godfather of grappling here in Las Vegas? A lot of people talk about John Lewis.
I mean, you can say John Lewis. John Lewis, because he's still in the game, kind of. Ricardo Perez was here for a while. You can also say Ricardo Conti, and then as well as Sergio Pena. They've all been here for a while. So it looks like from here, it looks like Lopez is trying to attack his neck so he could get his hands up so he can go for possibly an armbar from that position.
Now, what's the objective here for the guy on the bottom?
I mean, you got to get out, obviously, first of all, you don't want to get submitted, but second of all, you don't want to be in that position and heat up the clock, I would, if I was him, I would like to push on the knees.
Regain a half guard first?
Yes, push on the knees, regain the half guard, especially if you're not getting punched, you could use your hands to push on the knees. The MMA is a little bit different, but right here, if you're not getting punched, push on those knees, get half guard, possibly get an underhook and start, rocking this base for the sweep.
If you're in this top position, are you taking very many chances here?
It depends, on the individual. I like to finish, Kenny Foreman says finish fights, but he's up right now,
We got another warning there, right? Another 10-second warning.
Jeremiah's just doing a good job of just keeping his hands tight and basically not getting submitted, but he's not really doing much off that or outside of that.
We got a couple purple belts here in the first match at TuffNuff Amateur Fighting Championships. We're in the grappling world right now. Moises Lopez, purple belt out of Drysdale's gym in Las Vegas versus Jeremiah Vance, purple belt out of 10th Planet in Orange County, California.
Almost in this position, since Lopez is basically up on points, I would personally like to see him dismount and go to side control, maybe create a scramble to take his back, but he seems content in just controlling the position from here.
Lopez on top in the blue, with the blue tape on his ankle, and we have Vance on the bottom with the red tape. And they've been in this position for a while now.
Yeah. In this position, Ulysses, what would you say the cage could
You can push off of it like well, both. On top, it's kind of hindering him because he kind of limits his mobility. On bottom, if he can right now because his head against the fence is hindering Vance. If he was to switch where he has his feet against the fence, he can push off of it. But right now, no matter how hard he bumps, he's just gonna bump Lopez into the fences. Basically, he's right same exact position.
How tiring is it to be on that bottom right now?
It could be worse. If he was to put more pressure on side control, maybe put more weight on his chest and all that. It doesn't look like he's that bad. He's doing a good job of keeping his hands tight so he's not getting submitted. That choke doesn't really look like it's that tight.
So we're winding down here. Each match is 7 minutes. Looks like we have about 40 seconds left in this one. Moises Lopez, red tape on top, versus Jeremiah Vance, blue tape on the bottom. We've been in this position for about at least half the match, right, guys?
Yeah, at least, yeah. Basically the same as I think he's just attacking the neck, trying to get his hands up. So he's basically using the choke to set up the armbar. But
using a football reference, once you get a dominant position, if you have a lead, is he basically just running the ball, winding down the clock?
I mean, you never know. I mean, he looks like he's trying to go for that arm, but if it's like it hasn't been there for the last 4 minutes, I would like to see him switch to something else.
Well, there you have it. I believe we're going to have a clear-cut winner with Moises Lopez getting that mount about halfway through and keeping that position. That will be the end of the match, despite seeing the Hooter Girl Diamond with round 2 card on top.
Is there a round 2?
No, there isn't.
Okay.
That's the match. Here we go with Justin Bernard with the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have your winner by points 9-2. The blue corner, Moises Lopez.